I got into this business 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. Went through some
Yeah.
different IMOs, landed at Invita, great company. Everything's great about them. No problem. I always like selling IULs. They're great
Yeah.
clients. They create great tax-free accumulation for people, plus all the living benefits and all that. But IUL leads are traditionally harder to come by. Everybody does final expense and, mortgage protection. So when I bumped into your program, I was a little skeptical, just naturally. I saw your ad. I waited a week. I saw it again. I go, what if this is an opportunity I didn't look at? I might have missed the boat on something good. So I took,
Wait, but we knew someone in Nvidia, right? Like we had like a common connection or something like that, no?
yeah,
A
yeah,
few, I think.
one of the other gentlemen
Yeah.
working with you. And so I called him. I said, how's it working for you? He goes, great. You got to do this. It's great. You'll love it. I said, okay. So I got on. I love it.
But what were you doing before working with us? Like how are you selling your IELs?
Before working with you,
Yeah.
I was doing another program that's for educators. I won't mention their name
I think everyone knows them. But yeah,
but
just
everybody
beep it
knows
out.
their
Beep it out. Beep.
it's the program. But
Yeah.
I was doing, pretty much IELs with those people. Uh,
Mm,
I do find that with your leads, I think they're financially a little bit better qualified, generally speaking.
mm,
Do you run into the dum dums? Yes, it's a lead program. That's the nature of leads.
yeah.
But I think you overall you're able to produce more leads for the agent than they're traditionally going to get from another program I was doing. So I like it
Mm,
because it's all numbers game. And
yeah.
I've been making some pretty good income. It's pretty nice to sit down and close two sales and make yourself 6, 7 grand in commissions
Yeah.
in a matter of a 3 hour time frame. Hey, that's a nice week that day.
Yeah. What would you say? I mean, just for other agents who's listening, and I guess for my current clients as well, what do you feel like best practice? I mean, best practice, like I guess everyone is a little bit different,
Hmm.
but what would you say for these leads? Like, what have you seen to work the best?
Um, well, number one, I get enough of them. Okay. I mean,
Volume.
that's important, right? So it's
Yeah.
pretty good with the lead flow. Is there a couple of days that go by where it's silent? Sure, but I don't worry about it.
Because
It's
you have that from like the previous, and then it just kind of
yeah,
builds up. Yeah.
and I'm not paying per lead, so I know that I'm going to get enough at the end of the month, so I just don't worry about it. So sort of your program's a little less stressful to in that regard. Am I going to have enough leads? They will come. They
Mm,
bam, there's 5 of them all of a sudden. Suddenly the next day you got 3 appointments set. The day before you're stressing out. So you don't
yeah.
stress out about it, that your lead flow is great. Um,
Yeah.
Financially, I think most of the people are better qualified. Yeah, so I get a good variety of folks and I meet some really good clients and I meet some silly ones, but that's what makes this job fun and challenging is you never know what to deal with, right? It keeps you on your
Yeah.
toes. Um,
Absolutely.
and also one thing I appreciate about your program is you follow up with the agents a couple times a month to see what you can do to make it better for them. You and I had that meeting a few weeks ago, and I suggested we tweak some of the verbiage in the auto response, and it's actually helped. And so that's very much appreciated. You can't do that with like the other program. It's their way is the way, and that's it. But you're able to kind of customize it to the agent's personality or whatever it may be. But at least you're willing to help him change it so it works better for that individual. So
Mike, that's just for you, okay? That's just no, I'm just kidding.
it's for guys with red shirts, I know.
Yeah, just so you know.
So
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No,
that's a good thing, and I appreciate that. I think other people
no.
too.
So I guess one last question, and I know people watching it, like seeing these ads, and hearing people talk about lead program, and you're like this in the before joining as well. You're gonna be very skeptical. You don't know, hey, is this legit? Like, what would you say for anyone who's skeptical? Let's say if you were to tell yourself again, like before joining,
Hmm.
like what would you say to yourself? You know.
Well, it's okay to be skeptical, but I remember a long time ago somebody telling me that 2 to 4 times in a person's business life, working life, they're going to come across an opportunity that's awesome.
Mm,
Um, and if you are too skeptical and blow it off, you might miss the boat. It might be the one opportunity that changes everything for you. I'll give you an example. Coming to work with this IMO was the one opportunity. I'm glad I didn't pass up because it's changed my life financially. Your
If it
program,
works. No, I'm
and
just kidding.
so it's all right to have a little skepticism. That's just for me, just being cautious and making sure, you pass the background check, so to speak. Um,
Yeah.
and so the time I saw your ad, because there's other ads out there, kind of like yours. I saw a few, and I'm going, what is this going on? But for some reason, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit of a risk taker because as an entrepreneur and a business owner and a salesperson, you have to take certain risks to succeed. So,
Yeah.
but there was no money involved to talk with your folks and talk with you. So there's nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain. So don't be afraid to take that chance on yourself. If you've seen Dickie's ads before,
Yeah.
he's real. And I'm glad I did. And then it's funny, we found out that there's a few other people I know that are still doing your program before I was. So, um,
It's in your company.
yeah, take the chance and have a look at it. And I think, they'll like it because your program works real good.